Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Sunday, October 23rd. So, hope you had a good weekend so far. Did you have anything interesting happen on Saturday? I'm sitting here drinking my cup of tea this morning. I've got cherry. It's red cherry. Really, really nice drink for a autumn morning, but I really enjoy the cherry. As you know, I think I've mentioned that the town where I live is actually famous for its cherries. So it's during seasons of the year, you see them everywhere, and they're delicious. But yeah, I love cherries; they're great. So yesterday I had a great Saturday. I did a lot of wandering around town, getting things done. But I went to a movie last night. I saw Bridget Jones's Baby. Honestly, well, I don't know whether you like Bridget Jones or whether you enjoyed the first movies, but this was really, really funny. I had a great time. It was well better than I expected. I suppose my expectations weren't too high, but it was great, and the music was fun. The storyline was quite well developed, and actually, it was great. It was very entertaining. Have you seen it yet? Has anyone else seen Bridget Jones's Baby? Or have you seen any other good movies that you'd like to recommend for us? It's something that I do not too often. Maybe once every month I get to a movie, and it's always nice to know what people are watching. And there's a lot of good stuff coming in the next few months, in the build up to the holidays. So anyway, that was my Saturday, and I'd love to know what you got up to as well. So let me bring you up to speed on what's going on in the world, and a couple of good feel-good stories, and a little treat for someone at the very end. So let me share that with you later on. Right, so if you made a purchase yesterday on Saturday and you thought maybe you'd overdone it a bit, well, this morning I think that AT&T might be thinking the same thing, because they've just closed, or they're actually proposing a deal to acquire Time Warner. So AT&T will purchase Time Warner. The deal's worth $85 billion. And of course, AT&T is the leader in internet services and wireless phone. And Time Warner is a media company. It controls companies like CNN, HBO, and a few others. I think there's, of course, Warner Brothers Movies. So they're now going to try to combine these two companies, and of course, it gives AT&T access to media services now that did not have with the wireless and telephone things that it owned. So that's the big purchase going on in the United States over the weekend. Now, again in the U.S., the presidential candidates are off in the swing states, Pennsylvania, Ohio, talking about their first 100 days in office, what they would do, what their plans would be. And of course, they're hitting these swing states because they're, of course, critically important to both of them. So, the clock is ticking down. In 2 weeks to go, and then you'll decide in the United States who your next president is going to be. So get out there and vote. Speak your mind. In the UK economy is not doing well after the Brexit decision. Yesterday there was a report that inflation has increased, and also that food prices and prices for, well, really just about everything are anticipated to go up. So of course this is going to hit the average person very badly, and that's the situation from for our friends in the UK. I know we have a lot of ladies in the UK, so hi everybody. Hope that you're watching and enjoying Mornings with 60 and Me. Now in Iraq, the battle for Mosul continues. Of course, every day I could report 10 minutes on what's going on there, because it's complicated and it's in motion. But there was one thing that happened yesterday, which I think was, maybe it's good news. It really indicates the battle ahead. But this was a story about a town called Bartella, which was a Christian town in Iraq that had been taken over by the Islamic State in 2014. And the churches had been, desecrated and destroyed. And of course, when the Iraqi army left at that time, they were obviously very sad that they had to give up the battle. But now they're back, and it was quite emotional to watch as they took over this town of Bartella, and went into the church, which was destroyed, and they put a cross back up on the top of the church, and the soldiers were ringing the bells and basically celebrating the victory. But you could tell in their eyes that they were very, very, both sad and joyous. That it wasn't so much that there was a church, because they wanted to keep the religious kind of neutrality, so that in Iraq everybody can celebrate a religion of their choice. And but they got up and put the cross on the top of the church and rang the bells. And it was just a kind of a moment where you could see what a difference it was going to make, having the people, giving the people in that place back their lives. So that's in near approaching Mosul. Now in Kirkuk, yesterday there was an attack. I think we reported it on. Basically, IS was trying to distract the fight going on towards Mosul, and they attacked this town called Kirkuk, another very important town, and it got a little more complicated and violent than they thought it would. So that battle, the last report, is still ongoing. And it's just, I think that kind of thing is going to happen across Iraq over the next months and possibly longer. So that's the story from that part of the world. Now in France, tomorrow, Monday, the Jungle migrant camp is going to be closed. Everyone's been given a lot of warning, and tomorrow morning they're going to start busing all the people who have been camping there to shelters around France. They will be given an opportunity to choose a region of the country where they want to go. And of course, many people don't want to stay in France. They want to go to the UK. That's why they were there in Calais. But they are now going to close that migrant camp, and everyone's going to have to make a decision about their future. So I'm going to watch that news in the morning, because I'm not sure it's going to go exactly as planned, but we'll see. In Libya, just another quick note on migrants. In Libya Friday they rescued 3,000 more migrants from the sea as they tried to make an escape to Europe. So just so you know, it's not ending. The migrant situation in Europe is ongoing, and it's very, very dramatic for the countries that have to deal with the people coming on board, like the situation in France. So that's the news of the world. Isn't it crazy? There's just so much going on, but I hope that gives you a snapshot of what's happening. Now, I want to change gears and share with you a story that one of our bloggers wrote. I love our bloggers. They're just so amazing. They have expertise in so many interesting areas. And this one is by one of our women called, her name is Elaine Ambrose. Sorry, Elaine. Elaine Ambrose. And Elaine, she's got a really fun sense of humor about the way that she writes and the way she looks at aging. And she wrote an article called "Life Does Not Have a Best Buy Date." And she starts off the story by talking about how she's got things in her refrigerator, that are way out of date, and of course way past the sell-by date. And she sort of makes the analogy to, as she was looking at all these things past the sell-by date, does she want to be past her sell-by or her best buy date? And the analogy, of course, is that nobody wants to expire their best buy date. You want to live every day, just right now in the present. And so she goes on to write a really fun story about the things that you can do to avoid really your expiration date. And of course, you can take that as far as you want to go. But it's really staying healthy, staying good, happy in your attitude to life, and just getting up every morning and doing what you love. So here's, I think she's got like 5 or 6 reasons here, that ways to stay fresh and unspoiled, just like the food in your fridge. So the first thing is avoid frowning. It makes you look older, so don't frown, just smile. Smiling is a great preservative. So that's what she suggests. The second thing is stay front and center. The analogy is when you've got stuff in your fridge that's been there a while, it goes right to the back, and then you eventually pull out that little jar of something and think, oh my gosh, that's been there like 3 years. But everything gets pushed to the back. So she says, don't get pushed to the back. Don't be a leftover. And, just basically don't be irrelevant. Make yourself relevant every day. Push yourself forward. Do what you love. The next thing she says is protect your packaging. Again, the food analogy, but plastic food containers, they have these special seal lids that make them make food inside last longer. And she says, do the same for yourself, for your body. Do things that are going to help you preserve your good energy and be strong. And of course, these are things like eating good food, exercising, doing yoga, doing things that are going to make you feel in control of your life. So I think that's kind of cool. And of course, the practical things like wearing sunblock and wearing a hat when it's sunny outside, and just doing things to your physical body that are going to make you feel happy and and current. And then laugh to take the years off. Laughing, great medicine for healthy living. And you turn off the news, not this news. Turn off the sort of obsessive bad news and turn on something fun. Watch a silly movie. Go to see Bridget Jones's Baby. Do something that just celebrates the positive, fun side of your life. Next thing she says is appreciate the choices around you. See them as opportunities. And I think that's, I guess, the way she talks about here is society will see you some days as a main course, and other times you'll just be, the side dish or the dessert. But whatever you're doing, wherever you find yourself in your day to day, next week, just make the best of it. You don't have to be, the turkey at the Thanksgiving dinner all the time. You can be that beautiful sweet cranberry sauce or that special stuffing. You can be the side dish, and it's perfectly okay. Just be the best. What does she say? Be the best green bean casserole you can be. I think that's really cool. So basically, just what you don't focus on your expiration date. Focus on the opportunity right now, today. You have to live your life and be happy. And talking about being happy, I found another little article here, which I think I just did it and pulled it out for my own justification because I love to travel. And it turns out that research now says, according to this article, that basically it's better to take trips and to travel than it is to buy stuff, to buy material things. And the research was around, this is documented, by the way, we'll give you the link so you can take a look. But research at, I think, Cornell University says that, for example, if you think back over your last 3 Christmases or 3 holidays and say, what were the gifts I got? I don't think you'll remember. They don't have that, they become sort of part of your life. So this is adaptation factor, which is if you're doing it all the time and getting gifts fall in a category, clothing or, technology stuff, they just don't have a moment for you anymore. But if I asked you what was your favorite holiday or trip that you've taken in the last 3 years, you probably could immediately remember the memories, the journey, the people. It's because they were new and they were an adventure. So it's that dynamic of doing something for the first time and doing it with an open mind that actually makes you happier. So they say, well, I know personally I do love to travel, and it's not just, it's not long distance travel always. It's sometimes just next town or even into my own town with the eyes of a tourist and go to a place that's brand new to me. And try that sometime. Be a tourist in your own town. See if you can rediscover. And those kind of memories just produce a lightheartedness. And according to research, there's science to back it up. So I'm going to keep traveling. That's my mission. Anyway, I hope that was helpful, those 2 little pieces. And if you've got articles ever that you'd like us to cover, you think would encourage other people, just send them to me, margaret@60andme.com, and I'll be happy to share. All right, so now my gift for today. We've given this gift before, and for me, it's honestly, in my opinion, one of the greatest gifts I can give you. And I would like to give this to one person. This is our 60andMe Gentle Yoga video series. Now, it's a really great series, in my opinion, and we have lots of great people saying how much they've enjoyed it and how much it's helped them. And actually, we just wrote an article too about the questions you should ask yourself when you're thinking about taking on a yoga practice. So we're really passionate about exercise, and yoga to me is one of the best. So this has got two DVDs. And they cover all parts of your body. So there's a different session for neck and back, and one for balance, one for shoulders, joints, spinal health, legs. There's a different kind of workout. And then there's a flow at the end, which goes through them all. The teacher, her name's Kat Kabira. She's awesome. I mean, seriously, she's a very, very good teacher. She's worked with older people that have maybe mobility or stiffness or like me, kind of mental blocks with exercise. And I think the person that wins this will really like it. So and just put your details in the section below, and I'll choose someone randomly, and then you can have a go with gentle yoga. So that's our gift for today. Now, my last point here is my normal question for you to get conversation going and perhaps to get you thinking about your life and how you're living it. So just in the comment section below, just answer this question for me. And that is, what was the last great trip or vacation that you took? Leave your comments in the section below. We'll share between each other. And if you've been somewhere that someone else has been, just do a shout out, like her, or just get involved in the conversation, and let's get to know each other a bit better. So, what was the last great trip or vacation that you took? I look forward to reading your comments, and I'll jump in when I can. And just wish you all have a fantastic Sunday. And I'll see you all back here tomorrow on Mornings with 60 and Me. Take care, everybody. Bye bye for now.